Hi everyone. I'm still trying to figure out how to put this in the right position. Maybe there. Okay. Hi. This is something that I've been wanting to do for a little bit, but I waited for the right time if there is a right time, but I wanted to get a little bit more information and experience in what I've been doing lately. This isn't the most flattering um image projection of myself, but ultimately this video is not about me. It's not about myself. I'm not projecting myself through it. And what I want to share with you today is something that comes from the heart, from personal experiences, and I hope you finish the video, and we can keep talking about this. Okay. Um, for those of you, mostly no one knows, but I have been working, no, scratch that. I haven't been working. I have been providing my interpreting services as a volunteer to the Albany County Jail, not directly with them, but with the CRIC, which is the Capital Region Immigration Collaboration or Immigration Coalition, CRIC. And they have rounded up a group of attorneys and interpreters for what we believe is over 320 immigrants that were detained and were brought here. That's not the total amount, obviously. There are more around the nation. So we have them here, and the attorneys and the interpreters, we've teamed up to interview them, the detainees. We've asked them questions about their nationality, where are they coming from, because they're seeking asylum. So we want to help them as much as we can, and we're trying to, find attorneys who will take their cases pro bono. And not only that, but probably from my end, what we're getting is their story and their personal experience with coming to the United States. Um, for obvious reasons, I'm not allowed to mention names, places, and give specific details that will give out the identity of these detainees. But I wanted to put it out there and let you know how the situation looks like. A lot of them have basically come to the south border asking for asylum. They are then they're taken aside. People that work for, I'm assuming this is ICE, or for the border patrol, will put them aside, take their details, and once they take their information, they are detained and they are placed in detention centers, which are basically prisons. The Albany County Jail is prison, and this is where, at least in this region, this is where they're being placed. These immigrants are not criminals. They are being treated fairly well in terms of discrimination, in terms of meeting the language barrier at prison. But they are dressed as other inmates. They are chained when they come in. They are eating the same food that the inmates eat. They're sleeping in cells. They're living like prisoners in the United States, when initially what they were doing was looking for asylum. Um, it's been a good 2 weeks so far of just thinking, of just wondering. When you hear the news, you're not sure what's real and what's not. So I think that we are really becoming the news, the local news right now, by creating awareness and fighting for them, because there's no reason why they should be in prison. Um, it's been a heartbreaking situation. It really has. They're very quiet. They're very grateful that we're working with them. At times, us attorneys and interpreters are the first people that have seen them since they crossed. Again, not all of them crossed. They just asked for asylum at the border and they were taken there. But these people don't know what's going to happen with them. And when we've been there, we've heard all sorts of stories. There's been people that haven't seen their family. People that I remember one in particular who said something like, if I knew that I was going to end up in prison, I would have killed myself and just back home. You know, a lot of them are running away from violence, from corruption, from sexual assault. A lot of them are running away because they have death threats against them, and they come here looking for help, looking for people to give them a second chance at life. And they're detained. They go to prison. That's what's going on. Yesterday was a tough one. Yesterday there was a detainee being interviewed, and as the interview was going on, she just wailed. Oh gosh, she cried so much. You know, it's tough for them to tell us their stories, and we need to help them. But in that process of getting them the help that they need, there's a lot of breaking down that happens. And I made sure that before she went back, I said, "Can I hug you?" And she was still drying her tears, and I approached her, and we hugged each other, and I told her, "I want you to know something. I want you to know that we're fighting for you. I want you to know that I know that it's terrible what you're going through, but we're fighting for you." And she started crying so loud. So it was just a cry of pain, because they come here and all they want is a second chance, and they go to prison. This is so unfair. This is so unfair. These are people who really don't know what's going to happen to them, and they come here looking for a second chance. Last night, I had to spend, it was till, I came back home at 4:30 because one of the inmates had an ongoing issue that wasn't treated. And, one of the things we hear that when we're getting, we're communicating and making sure that we're there on the same page, of the person says, "I'm afraid to go to the hospital because one of the things that happened when I was in my previous detention center was that I was threatened. I got police at both sides interrogating me, asking me questions, and telling me if I'm not saying the truth, I'm going to be in prison for 3 years, if not more." And this person was terrified to go get medical attention. So, some officers and I went there and made sure that the person got the treatment that was needed. And, yeah. And this is a labor of love. Not because I'm a U.S. citizen, I'm going to disregard these stories. We had another story, someone who was separated by partner and children at the border, but partner and children were with an in-law in a nearby state. And these detainees, they don't know where they are. When you ask them, "Where did you come in?" and where they are, and we ended up bringing some U.S. maps to show them where they are. um, they have no idea on the map where they are. So um, it is it's these are things that you never think about. That you have to show people this is where you are. It's not like we are in a big museum and this is where you are in the red dot. No, no, they really don't know where they are. And when we ask the person, where is your partner? Oh, in such state, which is nearby. I mean, it's less, it's surrounding state. I mean, this person's eyes just filled with tears because this person hasn't seen partner and children, and immediately started asking, how can I have them visit me? How can I have them see me? It's a lot of pain. It really is. And it is. So, if you're not an attorney and you're not an interpreter, please help. I think the Legal Project is looking into getting some funds to put into their accounts so they can buy things and um make phone calls. Even though I'm a little confused about that. I don't know if it's free of charge, but they have accounts that if you can donate money, that'd be fantastic. But I'm not. This isn't. Just follow up with me over the days, and I'll see what I can find out about that. And if you can't, just pray, because that's what my mom been doing. Mommy told me, you know, tell them that I said to not lose faith, that I know it's tough and that we that the circumstances don't look like what they expected, but do not lose faith because God is looking, upon them and checking in with them. And yesterday when I was with the detainee looking for medical assistance, something that really, 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 really hurt me was the person has to be registered, right, to go to the ER, and there was this one person in line, and because they have to be the detainees are treated like the prisoner in terms of transportation. They're cuffed, head, hands and shackled and chained to the around the waist, because it's protocol. It's not that they want to treat them ill. It's protocol. Someone who was waiting to be attended just scanned this detainee head to toes, looked at it like it was a criminal. And I was so fierce. I just thought, I said, I hope no one says a peep, because they have no idea what this person's been through. Sorry, I had to move for a bit. Mommy and I are doing our Saturday groceries. I was telling you the story about this civilian just scanning this detainee without knowing. And I think that story applies to anyone who's in jail. You don't know why they're there. This is the story now. We have undocumented immigrants in our county jail, and please note that the sheriff, people at the county level have given they have given their best, and they've treated them well and allowed us to interview them. If there's something that I'm getting from this experience is meeting the like-minded people who want to be the agency. We believe in agency to get these immigrants the help that they need. We're allowing their voices to be translated into U.S. society. We want to validate that. And I want you to know that in this little city of Albany, that's happening. And I will say this, the first, April 1st, is going to be 10 years that I've been here. And I can proudly say it finally feels good to be in Albany, knowing that this is the kind of place that wants to support equality and freedom for everyone who comes into this country. People that may see this video will think, well, that's what they deserve. Why did they cross the border? It's like, if you were sexually assaulted at your hometown, threatened to death by the authorities, if you witnessed multiple murders, and as one of the detainees told us, you ask yourself, do I stay here and get either kidnapped or killed with my family? Or do I go to the United States knowing that laws with immigration and crossing and everything is becoming harder and harder every day? They choose life, and life means coming here. I've met amazing people, the attorneys I've worked with, the other interpreters, my friend Nelson, who was like my big brother, big buddy in Albany. I'm so freaking proud of him, and everyone who's been collaborating with this project. This is a great group. This is a great initiative, but I wanted to put this out there, and I want you to think about the following. When you go home, if you're not home, but when you go home tonight and you see your relatives, your children, your pets, your possessions, you have a house, apartment, car, smartphone, the smartphone, when you go to the store, buy groceries, when you don't know which color of shoes you're going to buy for that event that's coming next week, when you're like, you don't know which combo at either whichever fast food restaurant you want to buy, when you're making choices, I want you to remember that there are over 300 undocumented immigrants in Albany that chose life and are in prison because they chose life. I want you to kiss your children. I want you to hug your relatives. I want you to be grateful for every grain, every piece of food that you eat, and it's not disgusting. I want you to go and pray and, be thankful for the life you have, that you don't have to run away looking for life. Because if you want to know how much people love life and want to preserve it, they will go through rape, they will go through violence, they will look whatever amount of money it costs to get into this country to make it here. And you know what? They don't want to live like you. They just want to live. That's all it is. They just want to live. They just want to live. And I want you to think about that. I want you to pray I want you to pray in gratitude for yourself and your loved ones. And I want you to pray for them. And I want you to be supportive of this. And if you can't be supportive of life for others, then maybe you should reassess your own and ask yourself, what are you doing with your life? I'm gonna continue to interpret as I'm there every day. But I will continue to be there, and if you want to help, just hit me up, let me know. But I love you all, and every life is precious. Thank you.